The power of silence. Franklin and Lincoln now. Silence is not weakness. Silence is power. For centuries, people have mistaken silence for passivity, but Franklin and Lincoln knew better. Franklin once wrote, "Speak not, but what may benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation." Lincoln echoed, "Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt." These were not casual remarks. They were guiding principles that shaped how these men led and influenced the world. Today, we are overwhelmed by noise. Social media screams for attention. Arguments erupt everywhere, and words are thrown carelessly into the air. Everyone wants to be heard, but few want to listen. In this storm of endless chatter, silence becomes rare. It becomes a tool for those who understand that true power is not in shouting louder, but in mastering restraint. Silence is not emptiness, it is presence. Franklin used silence as a discipline of the mind. Lincoln used silence as a weapon of leadership. Together, they proved that silence builds respect, sharpens thought, and amplifies action. In this video, we will uncover 7 brutal benefits of silence, explained through their wisdom and legacy. These are not abstract ideas. They are practical lessons that can transform your life in the modern world. If you learn to embrace silence, you will discover the strength that has carried leaders, philosophers, and giants of history. Benefit 1. Mastery of observation. Silence is your magnifying glass. Franklin believed that silence creates the space needed to truly observe and learn. He kept journals to study human behavior and believed listening was a doorway to wisdom. Lincoln, too, often sat quietly while others spoke. Observers said his silence could fill a room with more weight than speeches. Then, when he spoke, a single phrase could change the direction of an entire debate. To master observation, one must first be quiet. The chatter of the tongue distracts the eyes and ears. In silence, the mind sharpens, details come alive, and the truth reveals itself. Silence gives you the clarity to notice the hidden patterns, the intentions behind words, and the subtleties others miss. Those who talk endlessly are blind to the world around them. Those who listen carefully see everything. Benefit 2. Supreme emotional control. Silence is the pause that saves you from regret. Franklin warned, "Anger is never without a reason, but seldom with a good one." He believed that silence was the shield against foolish reactions. Lincoln mastered this during the Civil War. When overwhelmed with rage, he would write letters full of anger but never send them. His silence gave him space to regain composure and act wisely. In a heated argument, silence is like armor. It prevents impulsive words that can destroy relationships or fuel conflict. It gives you time to breathe, to think, and to respond rather than react. Silence filters your emotions so that only clarity remains. It transforms you from a victim of impulse into the master of your emotional world. Control is not found in shouting, but in holding back until wisdom is ready to speak. Benefit 3. Preservation of energy. Every word you speak is energy spent. Franklin saw idle talk as wasted life. "Dost thou love life?" he wrote. "Then do not squander time, for that is the stuff life is made of." Lincoln, besieged by endless critics and opponents, refused to answer every attack. He preserved his strength by choosing silence over useless arguments. His silence was not weakness. It was conservation of energy for battles that mattered. In a noisy world, silence becomes your energy bank. It is like putting your life in low-power mode, saving your strength for what truly deserves it. Those who waste energy in noise end their days exhausted and empty. Those who practice silence store energy like a treasure chest, ready to be unleashed when the moment demands. Silence is not giving up, it is saving up. Benefit 4. Sharper decision-making. Silence is the workshop of thought. Franklin often withdrew into quiet reflection, journaling about his virtues and failures, weighing every decision with calm. He understood that the best choices require space to breathe. Lincoln would spend hours in solitude, silently walking or reflecting before making the decisions that shaped a nation. His pauses were not hesitation, they were precision. When you embrace silence, you create clarity in your mind. Decisions made in noise are reckless, like sailing without a map. Decisions made in silence are deliberate, like a captain navigating with stars. Silence allows you to weigh the cost, consider the consequence, and align choices with your values. It transforms decisions from random guesses into deliberate steps toward destiny. Benefit 5. Authority and respect. Silence is a crown. Franklin taught that well done is better than well said. His silence gave more credibility to his actions than to his words. Lincoln mastered the art of commanding respect through silence. His calm, thoughtful presence often carried more influence than another man's speech. His silence was not absence. It was authority. The more you speak, the cheaper your words become. But when you hold silence, every word you do speak becomes priceless. Leaders are not respected because they shout. They are respected because they measure their words. Silence multiplies the weight of your presence, turning every statement into a declaration of authority. Benefit 6. Avoiding needless conflicts. Noise is the mother of conflict. Franklin valued humility, preferring to let others talk themselves into foolishness. He knew that silence prevented unnecessary quarrels. Lincoln practiced the same restraint. In heated moments, he often remained quiet, diffusing tension with his calm. His silence disarmed enemies and prevented chaos. Conflict grows where words grow wild. Silence is the shield that guards peace. It prevents you from stepping into traps of anger, gossip, and provocation. Silence is not surrender. It is strategy. It avoids battles that are not worth fighting and preserves your strength for the ones that truly matter. Benefit 7. Earning deep respect. Respect is earned, not demanded. Franklin gained it through wisdom, humility, and his silence, which made his actions shine brighter. Lincoln, even in the face of fierce criticism, gained respect by his calm endurance. People listened to him because his words were rare, measured, and powerful. When you practice silence, you stand apart from the crowd. While others waste words, your silence speaks for you. Respect flows to those who hold their tongue, because their words are scarce and valuable. Silence is not fading into the background. It is rising above the noise, commanding admiration by the strength of your presence. Silence is not emptiness. It is fullness. Franklin and Lincoln both proved that silence is the soil where wisdom grows, the fortress that protects energy, and the crown that commands respect. They showed that in silence lies the power to observe, to control emotions, to make wise decisions, and to inspire authority. In a world drowning in noise, silence is rebellion. It is strength, clarity, and transformation. Embrace silence not as weakness, but as your secret weapon. Learn to pause, to listen, to hold back, and to let your silence amplify the weight of your life. For Franklin, for Lincoln, and for you, silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of power.